Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SA Magazine's Best of 2020 podcast, the 210 Culture Podcast. I am G.
I'm Dom.
I don't know.
And we are live from Southtown 101 on Pub Sports Radio, Pub Sports website, Pub Sports YouTube page, and Pub Sports Facebook page, and our Facebook page as soon as Donna hits share, which is now. So we're live on the Facebook page. Of course, this episode today is sponsored by Southside Craft Soda, Texas Bearded Cartel, and DR Woodfighter Catering. We'll have more details about each sponsor throughout the show later on. Yeah, I'm getting good at this. I actually wrote a script down for once. I'm very proud of myself. So today, shout out to the Film Room for bringing this up on their episode Thursday. I had been losing count of our number of episodes, but today,
so many episodes,
is episode 91
of
the 210 Culture Podcast.
No way. No way.
So our guest for today, our special guest, is Gilbert Rodriguez, owner of Texas Silkscreen Embroidery, RNL Sports, RNL Cuts, RNL. No.
Thank you.
A lot of R's and L's.
So thank you for taking time out today to be on the show with us here. So of course, we start the show normally just what we did over the weekend. So being our guest, what did you do over the weekend?
A whole lot of nothing. It's so darn hot outside.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you can't walk from your door to the car without breaking a sweat. So a whole lot of nothing. We just built a pool, so that thing. I try not to go anywhere anymore now. Or let me change that. I don't have any money to go anywhere.
Hey, just start charging the neighbors to go to the
Yeah.
pool. That's fine.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Just get some floaties and be like social distancing. Stay in your
Social
floaty.
distancing.
Stay in your floaty. What'd you do, Dom?
Actually, I went up to Austin this Saturday. Not for the night, but just for the day. Because a restaurant, Salt Lick, was closed for the longest time due to COVID because I have a very small eating area.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like they're taking all the precautions. They have a sanitizing, like literally area in every part of the restaurant now, and like takeouts outside right now. So it was great, trying it again because I know we've been there for like Jonathan's graduation and stuff like that, and then going to the UT campus, checking it out. Like everybody's amazing. Everybody's still there. They're in like the quad area, just like laying in the grass. Like I'm like, I guess it's just a new norm now. Everybody's gonna be in a mask, be like kind of spread apart, and still acting normal though. But it's never gonna be normal. This is gonna be the new norm now.
So I know Salt Lake was open for carryout, but they're open for dine-in already.
Now it is,
Okay, good.
because they weren't before.
Yeah, I know.
I know they
Their
ruined my
potato
dad's
salad
birthday.
is really good. It's different. It's different, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's different, but
I like
definitely, Mr. Garcia would like it.
Yeah, we're
That's
supposed
true,
to take my dad for his birthday because it was a surprise birthday party. So we were supposed to keep him busy. So I was like, I'll take him to Salt Lake. The time it takes us to drive out there, eat there, and come back. This party should be good to go. And they're like, it's carry out only. So it's like, I'm not driving all the way over there to eat in his truck. So there goes that.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun.
Good.
And of course, we finished filming, or
Not really.
day 2 of
kind
filming of DJ Act 6's music video Lunatic.
Well,
Yes.
what?
So shout out to the Wolverine Dance Studio. Is that what it is?
I think Wolverine All Stars, something like that
All-Stars.
around Texas Wolverine All Stars.
They came in clutch last minute and helped us get.
That was a pretty cool stage.
Let us use their space an hour before we were supposed to shoot.
Yes.
Nice.
We had some
Nice.
issues, so we had to scrap and try to hurry up and find somebody quick.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for giving us the space to use. And then Friday we went to go to a music video premiere for Levitated Minds at Dave & Buster's.
Yes.
And then we chilled at home yesterday.
Yeah.
And now we're here.
So damn
we're here.
hot.
Yes.
It is too damn hot to do anything.
Getting ready. Oh yeah, we ate with Mike Friday.
Oh yeah, Mike from Noodle Tree.
Yes.
Mike.
So he's giving us more of a
The
time
Noodle
frame.
King.
He's giving us a time frame as to when his shop is going to open back up.
Nice.
His treatment's almost done. He's been doing pretty good. So
He's a fighter.
yes.
He is. He sure is.
And he, for those who've been following the podcast, helped me find my action figure. I totally forgot to bring him.
Yeah, you
Ching
did.
got
Dang it.
away.
But yes, I saved
You
the
were talking about it last time.
I saved the $6 and he found it for me in Dallas because they
That's
already got him in Dallas. So
Did you say that's cute?
Yeah, it is. I need a good picture of Mike so we can have him as the background one day. I want him just
He's
staring
like-
at G's shoulders.
yeah, and then we
It's
even
true.
had him because Mike gave it to me when we ate, so we had him sitting in his own little chair and and stuff while we were waiting there. So it was fun.
It
But of
was
course,
fun. He told the waiter, he was like, "Hey, you didn't get his drink," and the waiter was like, "I'm sorry, who?"
did he go to the restroom? He was like, "Is
Did
he
he
in
go
the
to the
restroom?"
restroom?
We're like, "No, the toy." He's like, "Oh."
He's just probably like, "Y'all are stupid."
Mike's crazy.
So, as you got a dynasty of businesses,
Dynasty.
It hasn't
That's a
always
good
been that
thing.
way.
I was gonna say, you want to run through the start of how everything?
Well, I started this back in 2002.
Ooh.
It
Cool.
was, and everybody hears and sees now where we're at, but it was never that way. The first,
Mhm.
everybody says the first 2 or 3 years, it's the first 5 or 6.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was really rough. We went through some times where, and I'm not ashamed, we went through the repo of the vehicles, the foreclosure of houses. And I mean,
Wow.
it just, I still had this vision and I wasn't going to give up on it.
Mhm.
And we battled through it. When, had opened my first location, rough. It was really rough. Closed that one down, went and started operating in the back of our house. Grew out of that, went back and said, you know what, let's try this one last time. And
Yeah.
the silk screen and embroidery has hit a milestone. This year made 18 years in the business.
Yay! Congratulations.
Yes, so
Yeah, hell yeah.
we have really, really come a long ways. Well, along the
Yeah.
way, it's so funny because I started this thing. I used to deal with medical equipment and dealt
wow.
with home health care and stuff of that nature. So I was a
Yeah.
marketing rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to always go to a location to buy my shirts and buy my giveaways, my marketing stuff.
Yeah.
I walk in one day and the gentleman says, that I'm ordering from says, man, I'm tired of this place. I don't want to be here anymore. The owner doesn't do
Jeez.
this. The owner doesn't do that. I said, how much money is in this? And he says, well, let me show you. So he starts showing me in the ins and outs. And about 4 or 5 months go by and he's still on me, nagging me. And I said, you know what? Just give it a darn shot. Man.
Yeah.
What are you going to? So that was back in 2002. And we opened up, started rocking and rolling. And of course, like I said, you go first 5, 6 years were literally hell.
Right. Yeah.
No one wants to take a chance on you. They have their t-shirt guy, they have their cap guy, what you're just in this business and you want me to go give you my stuff to print?
Yeah.
Crazy.
No.
So we took a leap of faith. We kept going, we kept rocking and rolling and going through the hard times and of course messing up a ton of shirts.
Oh yeah.
And messing up a
I
ton
feel you
of caps. But we got through it. We are very, very, very good now. What's so funny because this COVID thing for a while, I had always been putting money away trying to get this pool built, and
Yeah.
the COVID thing came, and all of a sudden you hit the brakes, and you're like, hold on, should I keep that money aside, or should I go continue?
Yeah.
Not knowing what this COVID was going to do, but you know what the craziest thing of this whole COVID thing is that I am busier now than I was a year ago at this time.
Really?
Oh, really?
And it's crazy.
Wow.
But
That's interesting.
and you know why it's interesting? Because I sat there and did the same thing. So finally I had one customer came and he spent, damn near 12 grand on one order.
Oh wow.
And we deal with a lot of business,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
corporate companies. And I asked the question. Never do I ever want to ask a customer where you're getting your money from. But,
Right.
True.
I asked it. I said, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic and you're gonna, and you're spending this kind of money. What's happening is these guys are filing for these loans and these government loans that they're giving them. And so they're taking the opportunity to rebrand their name, maybe change things up, do stuff that they've always wanted to do to try to get to bring business in, which is all within the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're loving it. Shoot, we're loving it. I'm saying, hey, so we've done a lot of that, but we've done really, really well. Really
Nice.
I was gonna say unless you buy a Lamborghini like that guy from Florida. Did you hear about that
well.
guy?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, did you hear about it?
No, I didn't.
So there's a
I
guy
heard.
from Florida that used the PPP money to buy a Lamborghini. He got $1.5 million for the loan and spent, I think he said like 800,000 of it on that Lamborghini.
What the hell?
And the funny, ironic thing about it is that the week before they interviewed him on a news station, and that he was like, I think it was something like, yeah, you need to give money out because these businesses are starving and they're barely making it. Like, businesses are mine are like this close from going under, and then the next week they find out he had bought a Lamborghini like 3 weeks
God
before.
damn.
I read that article, and he had just opened a business 2 or 3 weeks prior to that.
Yeah.
In lieu of trying to
What
get some
the
of this money they
hell?
were giving out.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
Some of these businesses are actually
I was gonna
hurting
say.
and don't even have that loan. You know what I mean?
Well, even if he didn't get caught at the beginning, he probably would have gotten caught like later
Sooner or
on because you
later.
had
Mhm.
to, get proof that it was going back to the
And
employees and all that stuff.
I always say, I tell everybody, don't think that money is going to disappear because
Mhm.
you're gonna have to pay it back.
Right.
And
Some way.
now let's take a step further, and now the government, the IRS, has seen your financials because you have to send that stuff in
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they know, and they're going to keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
And that's not a route I wanted to go. I
Yeah.
just
No.
Right, yeah, for
Are you
sure.
I
there?
said I'm all
For
right.
sure.
Mhm. Especially
mean-
especially because they make sure that your forms match what you're saying too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Better
like,
believe that.
So they really gonna know what you're paying your
Mhm.
employees and everything.
That's
Because
true.
I work at Chase in the business department, so that's like half my calls this last like 6 months. That's all it's been is how can I get it? Why is it not working? How come y'all guys can't do anything? And I'm just like, sorry, we don't have a team.
Government.
I don't know what to tell you. So now it's like same with the forgiveness part of it. Now everybody's just calling in like
Yeah.
Chase is like, oh, we're gonna do it in the middle of August. It's already now the last week of August and we still haven't like started.
Wow.
So that makes my calls very wonderful every day.
Always.
But of course I see here you've also gone into the mask just like everybody else. Was that something quick you jumped into and said, okay, let's do it because people need
It
masks?
was, and we originally didn't have any idea of getting into the mask game.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, going into this pandemic, we were busy,
Right. Yeah.
and we were concentrating on what we did best, which was our printing,
Mhm.
our banners, our silkscreen embroidery, our sublimation. That's what made us what we are. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then I had a customer come, one of our big customers, Peg Dawson, said, hey, we need masks. And I said, well, I mean, we can do masks. Holy Cross High School, they came to us, how about some masks? And
All right. Yeah.
mask we can do, that's not a problem. So then
Yeah.
after that started rocking and rolling, it was like, we put that into our arsenal, and it was something that we offered, the gator necks, the regular
Mhm.
standard mask. It
Oh.
was, and we produce them by, like they're going out of style right now because everybody wants either their logo
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
or whatever it is
Yeah.
on their mask.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, and I know especially like a lot of companies where they're like, oh, well, you're still gonna work, so we're gonna have to give you some, so it's easy.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's just
Yeah.
get decent
Mhm.
mass quantities and just give them out. Because I know before I got sent home to work from home for Chase, they were talking about, oh yeah, if you're gonna stay, we'll give you a mask.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be
Mhm.
any protection, but it's just gonna be a mask, so you have cover that you have to wear. So I was assuming
Yeah.
they're giving out those to everybody over there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like because even when I know we were talking off camera, that I went to that popcorn Piccadilly place,
Mhm.
and even she said like she just like you said she's doing more business now than she did before
Yeah.
last year. And I guess with popcorn, it's just more the fact that you miss eating popcorn and you can't.
That's
I mean, you can go to
true.
the theaters now; they
Yeah.
are open,
You
but
can
Well, now they are.
Yeah.
but since a
Yeah.
lot of them aren't showing new movies anyway, you're not going to pay movie theater prices to go see the Terminator 1 again.
Yeah. It's true.
So I was like, well, her business makes sense because it's popcorn, and I mean, there's a billion different popcorns. I know they had a hot Cheeto one, so those who've been trying to try it at
Interesting.
Regal, you can just go over there instead and get it.
Yeah.
But
I tried one at the Astros game. They have
Mhm.
popcorn with hot Cheetos, and it has the actual hot Cheetos in the popcorn. And it's flavored.
Oh.
Oh, that darn thing was
Sounds-
amazing.
sounds great.
Ooh. That sounds
Amazing.
good.
Next movie night.
senses.
I know. I'm like.
I just got really excited right there.
Yes.
So I have a question. Okay, so I'm dumb. I don't know anything about embroidering or anything, but what is silk screening? Like what is that?
So silkscreen is a process of putting ink onto a shirt.
Mm.
And
Uh-huh.
it's so funny because we get people that walk in and the small orders, the little baseball teams, the stuff of that nature. That's what made us what we are today.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And there's a part of me that, yes, I don't make any money on that, but
Yeah.
there's a part of me that's still got to be true to what got us where we're at.
Right.
And
Okay.
what got us where we're at are these small orders. So to answer your question, there's a lot of people that come in and say, hey, I just need, Mijo just needs one shirt, or he needs 3 shirts, or
Mhm.
and there's a process. The process is quite extensive, from the artwork to
Mhm.
burning it onto a screen,
Yeah.
to washing it out, to
Mhm.
taping it up, to putting it on the
Ah.
machine, to lining it
It's a
up.
bit of a process.
Oh wow.
So it's a process of actually taking ink and manually, or like in our case, it's an automatic machine that it actually squeegees the art onto
Yeah.
the shirt, and then it goes through a 1,000-degree oven, which basically cooks that ink
bakes
into
it
the
on.
shirt.
Oh, wow.
And that's how we come up with it. So
Oh.
whether it's a 4 or 5 process color job, we we
Yeah.
do our best to try to get.
Now, does
done.
that look better than embroidery, or is it kind of like
Depends, right?
it depends?
It's kind of two different animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, embroidery is going to be like I could never. I mean, I could, but I could never really try to push you to embroider on a T-shirt.
Mm.
You know what's going to
gonna be
happen
like
is when
that.
you start putting
Yeah.
10,000 stitches on a T-shirt, that T-shirt's going to start pulling together because it's just not thick enough and made to have 20,000 holes.
Oh,
Everybody
gotcha.
looks at a left chest logo and they think, oh, that's not very big embroidery. There's probably about 50,000 stitches in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you start thinking about putting 40 or 50,000 holes in a shirt, that thing starts to pull because of the
Yeah.
tension on the thread and the bobbin. So it starts pulling it together. So yeah, I push silkscreen on a T-shirt, and we really, your polos, your jackets,
Mhm.
your caps.
Mhm.
Those are the things that you truly want to embroider.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
true.
Okay, gotcha.
And what are like the price ranges? Like if I were to want to get like a pack of 5 shirts, and I wanted to get them silk screens, like what would be like a price range? for
Well,
that?
He's like,
Depends
It
on what-
depends. It
No.
depends.
So like now our minimums on T-shirts is 24.
Oh,
And everybody always comes
Oh,
in and
okay.
they're like, "Oh,
24.
you're too big now. You don't do less than that." And I'd rather not disrespect you and give you the price that it
Ridiculous,
would cost to run
one.
8 or 9
One,
shirts.
No, that
Right.
makes sense.
Then you would be upset and say, "Hey, how are you trying to charge me $18 a shirt?" Well,
yeah.
in reality, I'd rather just tell you I don't do less than 24. That way, at 24, we still stay within what you're thinking in your head. And 90% of the people that are going to print 10 or 11 probably have a Theo or a Thea or someone that
Yes.
wants a shirt, and then they come back
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, I need 10 more. I left so 10
Exactly.
people out." So
That's
we try
how
to
we
push
are.
them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when we start like thinking about shirts or like hoodies and stuff, we're like, okay, well, you have like our main people, but then oh shoot, well his dad and his mom and his
Mhm.
Theo and Thea and
Or
grandma.
that main
grandpa and all
person's
that
wife
stuff.
wants one, or their
Yeah.
husband wants
Yeah.
one, and then we're like, okay. And then we plan ahead, and it's just like, boom.
And it never fails.
Yeah.
You'll have that one Thea that, what? Oh, he got one.
Right.
I don't get one.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes.
Here we
And
go.
it's like, oh, chingo.
I know we did ones that were like,
The Fiesta ones?
they're like Fiesta,
Yeah.
like baseball
Like
jerseys type.
Yeah.
And then like we made it for just like the crew because we were doing we were giving meals to the nurses at the prison.
Oh, okay.
So we were delivering meals. So we're like, okay, well, we'll all wear the same unified shirt. And like after that, people that like weren't, they're like, I want a shirt. How do I get that shirt? That shirt's cool. And I was like, that was a one-time shirt. Like,
Sorry,
but I went through to
y'all.
get those shirts. Like that's it. We're not gonna
Yes.
get more.
It is
Um,
some comments. Daniel said, "What up, my peeps?"
What
and I
up?
have
Hello,
Carlos.
D.
Carlos Rodriguez said, "Get it, Big Gil."
And of course, while we're on the subject of embroidery, of course, the DR Woodfire hat is one of the hats that you made.
Yes.
Yes, we do Daniels.
Did you do
And
the
his-
pin too, or just
What's that?
Did you do the pin as well, or just the?
No, we just did the hat.
So did
Nice.
you create his new logo?
His new logo, actually, a friend of ours created.
Because it looks
Yes.
great.
Mhm.
I really like it.
Yeah, I
and
did.
then on the shirts, because you did his shirts,
Yes.
correct? Yeah, and they just
and
look great.
we did some changing of the logo because of course when it first came to us it had some flames and so
Mhm.
Yeah,
and I
Gotta
said,
have flames.
So we went back to that old like Daniel said, it was a throwback to the Ramones.
Yeah. So
it looked great. I really
Mhm.
liked it.
so while we're on the topic, real quick, of course, he is one of our sponsors for the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
DR Woodfire Catering. So make sure you get now before the month is over his August special, which for $50 you get 2 pounds of pulled pork, 6 delicious leg quarters, 4 smoked sausage links, a quart of cream corn, a quart of Italian pasta salad, a quart of Texas style green beans, 6 rolls, and a big ass piece of cake.
Y todo.
All for $50. Like I said, I know it's ending at the end of the month, and trust me,
Yes.
what he has for September is going to be amazing. He's already showed me, and actually we're getting that tomorrow to get all that prep work ready for photos and videos and all that good stuff.
Yes.
and a Diet Coke.
And with the Diet Coke, don't forget about that now.
Are there September birthday specials?
Oh
I
my
don't know.
goodness.
Oh
That's right.
yeah,
Somebody's
birthday boy is coming
birthday.
up.
It's like in like 2 weeks, guys. Relax.
We'll
Sorry.
figure it out.
Oh my God. So what?
We're gonna make a big deal about it.
We'll see if you guys are even here, if I'm here. Who knows?
And Daniel's got this barbecue sauce that, oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh yeah. His
I
homemade
sent him
barbecue
I
sauce.
sent him a picture the other day because I sit there at my desk with just Ruffles and his barbecue sauce. He's like, that's not what it was for.
Well, now it is. It's a dip.
So you already saw the comment, but Roland said to ask you what sublimated means.
Roland is a knucklehead. And I'm going to be nice right now because he's a knucklehead. So,
Well, I hope he's watching.
so he's
okay?
back. He's from the
Knucklehead?
70s.
Okay.
So I think in 1970, he was like 38 years old. So he this new lingo and this new stuff within printing,
Mhm.
he's always like, sublimation. What's sublimation? Stop it.
That's funny. That's funny.
So of course, you have RNL Sports. You want to tell us a little bit more about that as well?
So RNL Sports, I started a while back. We always competed, traveling, playing softball.
Mm.
And we'd go to Houston, Dallas. We go to Vegas for the
Ooh.
national tournament. And we started putting it together. Well, then of course we have a women's team,
Mhm.
so now ladies team.
Cool.
Shout out to the ladies team. They really
Shout out.
Yay.
they've been kicking some butt lately. So.
Good. Yes, we do.
So and then we added of course we've always had our 40 and over men's team. That's what started this.
Oh wow.
So our 40 and over men's team, and shout out to them too. They've been actually doing
Shout out.
a really good job. We've won a few tournaments this last couple of times, and we're going back to Vegas in September. And now that's
Ooh.
all kind of in limbo with everything going
Yeah.
on. So, but we added an 18U boys team, which Chris Ricondo coaches and helps with that team. Really good group of kids. They've all gone to either St. Mary's or gotten some college scholarships.
Oh,
So
wow.
Wow.
this group
nice.
of this RNL 18U team kind of travels and tries to get their little niche within the college world
Yeah.
to get a scholarship or something.
Wow.
That's awesome. Oh, sorry. We do have some comments but
Sure.
regarding the embroidery part.
Go ahead.
So we have Ray Salas that says, "Get it, Papa, much love." Cynthia asks, "Does he do branded giveaways as well, i.e., pens, cups, etc.?"
We do. We
Okay.
do a lot of promo items.
Mm,
Okay.
And we do everything from your standard Yeti cup
Mhm.
to pins to koozies, slap koozies.
Ooh, nice.
We do USB ports with your logo on it.
Really? USB
yes.
ports?
Cookies,
That's
yes.
cool.
G would be interested in that.
I should. I would.
Yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That's always been one of my things to get eventually custom USBs for clients, so that way they have all their
Yeah.
projects
That would
saved
be
on
cool. Yeah.
the USB.
Here's your video and your USB ports.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so we have
And pictures.
El Doctor Says that said, "Big time, appreciate all you do." We have Caitlin Rodriguez that said, "Proud daughter moment, love you."
Whoa.
That's my princess. Yes.
We have Daniel
Aw.
that we will get a special birthday delivered for B-Day Boy.
Oh,
there you go, Jose.
there you go,
Oh,
Jose.
yeah, Daniel. I always knew I liked
Yeah,
it.
Daniel.
We have Alonso Villasana. Sorry if I mispronounced that. That said, "Best shop in San Antonio."
Yes.
Hey,
Don't worry, you're doing a better
Alonso is-
job reading than G ever would.
No way.
You know what? I'm gonna take it
That's how it
back.
works.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back now, Jose. I was gonna say you need to butter up OJ over there because next year or on the 3rd we're gonna have Mr. Chicken on a Stick here. Maybe get you chicken on a stick
Oh,
birthday
okay.
cake. But no, never mind.
What is a
KJ,
chicken on a stick
yeah.
birthday cake? Is it an actual birthday cake or is it chicken on a stick?
Well, I'll
Well,
make
you're
it.
just gonna have to
sort
find
it
out.
But now you're not going to because you know,
Oh, shucks.
Please.
now
I'm
I'm
trying.
now I'm vetoing the cake.
I'm,
So
I'm crying back here if you can't tell.
I'm vetoing the cake.
Veto.
So
And
going back to
it this whole social
Mhm.
media thing, it's been such a it can be your downfall or it could be your
it really
This
does.
is true.
Yeah,
This is
for
true.
sure.
and it's comments like these really make us what we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Social media has done so well, and Alonso Caesar is a good friend that we met through business,
Mhm.
and now
Oh,
he's
okay.
a friend on Facebook. He has a brand that he started,
Yeah.
a rough hand brand that it was a hat brand, and he's grown this thing so tremendous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I go places, I'm snapping pictures like, hey, how did this kid get this? But we do all of his embroidery, and
Nice.
it's social media is just
Right.
it's a good thing when 90% of your customers are friends with you on Facebook, because
Yeah.
that means you're doing something right. And you're
Yeah.
not trying to
Mhm.
hide.
Especially
sure.
local businesses, when you're trying to be a small business, all your friends and family support you, but then their friends and their cousin, all of them just start coming to you.
Right, yeah.
Better believe
You
It's
build
great.
a community. You build a
It's great.
community. And so back to the R&L sports. So there's different, like, I guess, things that you like, groups or whatever, programs.
And
Teams, yes.
just to back up a little, R&L was started off of not really an idea, but I'm a big time respect and loyalty guy.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the only two characters that you should ever need.
Right.
Is to have respect and to be loyal to the people that are loyal to you.
Yeah.
And that's what started. It actually started as a clothing brand.
Oh,
It started
really?
as
R&L.
R&L clothing. We had R&L on everything. We started printing shirts, started printing caps. I mean, I knew a good printer, so I was like, why not?
Right, why
Better
not?
do
not? So we started with that, and then it turned into R&L against softball, R&L baseball, and it's just kind of grown. And now we have R&L
Okay.
Cuts.
Okay. So what's R&L
Whoa.
Cuts?
R&L Cuts is a barbershop that I've had for almost 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting a little.
Wow.
I was about to say, if you guys haven't seen my hair, it's a
It's
mess.
wild. It is
Yes,
wild.
Donna criticizes my hair all the time.
I do,
so.
yes. I
About
just
to get
didn't
it
do it today
colored,
because you
though.
came in late, but you know what? Yeah.
Yeah,
anyways.
you're right. You're right. I can't wait for next week to get my hair cut on the air.
That's
It's
what I was
gonna
about
be
to say.
There you go.
They need their hair colored once we get those, subscribe, likes.
Oh, yeah.
And all that.
Which we already did.
So
Let's get it, number
Yay, he's
one.
getting his hair
we'll talk
colored.
about that on the live later tonight.
Okay. Perfect.
Comment the colors we should do.
Where is the
Yes.
R&L Cut
So
location?
R&L Cuts is on Bandera and Callahan,
Oh, okay.
and we started that about 7 years ago the same way. I was getting a haircut, and it was the same thing. Gosh, I'm miserable where I'm at. And here I
I
go.
feel that.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Hey.
And I'm like, oh, what do I have to do to open a barbershop? So we opened up a barbershop, and it has taken off. I got to go back because even the barbershop portion of it, some of those guys have been with me since day one.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing when we talk about this loyalty deal. My silkscreen guys, the Victors, the Anthonys, the Rolands, the Christophers, those guys have been with me since day one, and they've been with me for years, and huge on loyalty. But as a manager and as a boss, you take care of the people that take care of you, and I wouldn't be half of what I am. Trust me when I say that, without them, because it takes a crew to be able to put out that kind of work.
Oh, for sure.
And the barbershop end, like I said, those guys do an amazing job, and girls. Selena's, so I can't leave her out. But she's been with me since the day we opened.
Oh, wow.
And still with me today. And and they, like I said, it's been a good business. It's always fun when you can walk in and get your hair cut on the drop of not like I got a lot of hair.
Hypothetically, if one wanted to make an appointment or go see one of the specialists at R&L's, what would they have to do?
You dial our number 210-435-5889. It's basically 435 cuts with a K, KUTZ, and that would and give them a call. They'll schedule an appointment, and it's always nice to schedule an appointment because you don't have to sit there waiting. Right now, we are under such strict guidelines that
gotta wear a mask, gotta be sanitized.
And we fought this thing because we don't ever want to put anybody in this predicament. But what do you do with a guy like yourself that has a beard that we're trimming his beard, we're cleaning it up, and you got to wear a mask?
Right.
So we went back and forth with TDLR and said, hey, look, how do we get around this? And now it's more so where our barbers have to wear those masks, but we're gonna have to give a service, and we can't do that with the mask on. So but if you call the number, schedule an appointment. Now we're under this guideline where you have to sit in the car when she's done with her client, or when he's done with his client, walks them out, waves you in, you come in, just to keep from having 7 or 8 people lingering in the shop.
Done. The appointment will be scheduled this week. It'll be
Awesome.
it'll be my next review.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Speaking of reviews, how was Dicko's Pizza?
Oh yeah. Give us a review.
Oh brother. Okay, guys.
So
this doesn't sound good.
I know.
So we
What's
got the
going
pizza,
on?
whatever.
Okay.
It was fine. Alexis Ruiz, noted guest on the show, found a hair in her pizza
Shut the front door.
inside of the pizza, like baked into the pizza.
Hell no.
So
I'm about to talk to them.
So-
I know.
But the pizza was overall not that bad. I would give it 2 out of 5 buckets.
2 out of 5 buckets.
That's the one on Fredericksburg. Am I correct?
Buckets.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, is that the one you picked up on?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was a very disappointing time, but still, it wasn't that great. 2 out of 5.
And then a couple of days later, me and Donna got our own cheese board too.
We got our own cheese board.
Fuck yeah.
HEB, $6.
Hell yeah. The original cheese board.
Meat and cheese.
So last episode, he was talking about when they have movie night, he goes and gets a whole cutlery board.
Oh,
So he gave like his whole list, and he was talking about all these cheeses. and stuff.
Jesus, I've
like
never
fancy
heard.
cheeses and meats that are expensive.
So like the next day we went to HEB and she got one of those Lunchable ones. That HEB brand with the big crackers and the mozzarella. So we took him a picture. Like, look, we got cheese plate too.
You guys honestly had a better one. I would have rather been you there.
Dang. You're that, Alexis?
He's throwing shade. FYI.
And of course, we were able to actually get a hold of some Southside craft soda this week.
Took a
Yay.
while.
After like weeks, so I had to just plug this in since we're
Yeah.
here. So of course, Southside craft soda is great on a hot summer day. What is cooler than having a refreshing drink for San Antonio by San Antonio? Southside craft soda comes in 3 unique flavors: the Texacola, the Limoncito, and the Bevo Vanilla, which we don't have, which is really hard to get a hold of. But make
That
sure
means
you
it's
pick
good.
some up at your local HEB and Central Markets. If you
Yeah.
don't know specifically where, which they're practically everywhere, you can always go to southsidecraftsoda.com and there's a locator to find it near you
Yes.
if you're outside of San Antonio watching this.
Very
Mhm.
good.
You can always go to the Pearl
So
too.
Cynthia said loyalty is everything.
Loyalty,
100.
loyalty.
Yes. So had it been tough for, I guess, R&L Cuts between this time that they closed down to,
It
opening
is.
up
It
and
is.
stuff?
It has, and it's been tough because you've got to fight that fine line between
Yeah.
putting your
Mhm.
barbers at risk
hmm
and putting your customers at risk, and it's a fine line, but we all know that it's a service that most of us do need.
Yeah, it is.
And it was kind of tough because these barbers got to eat,
Right. Yeah.
and they've got to put food on the table.
hmm
And it's where it got to a point where we had to find that fine line. And like I told our barbers, I'm not going to force you to come to work. I'm not going to force you to do anything you want. But if you've got to get food on the table and you want to work, our shop's going to be open. We're going to
Mhm.
follow the TDLR guidelines
Mhm.
and make sure that we're all within that realm of being safe and providing a service.
Right. Yeah.
Does it get difficult having to balance all these many businesses?
I know.
Is
that's
there?
what I was
Do
gonna
you
say.
do you have like a website for each business where you just like, this is how one business is doing today. This is how another business is doing.
And do you know that I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I've got a wife that I've been married to for 20 years.
Ooh.
And that woman, she says, what in the world is, I literally, and this is no exaggeration, I get maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night,
Ooh.
every night. And it is a juggle. Don't get me wrong. It's tough juggling. It's tough being on top of stuff. But,
Right.
the minute that it would go away, I'd find myself lost.
Right.
So
yeah.
as much as I say that, I get
Mm.
frustrated, sometimes it's a lot of stress, but I think if it all went away tomorrow, I'd probably be sitting here crying because I'd
Mhm.
want it back. So-
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So yes, it is. It's tough. It's a tough deal. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've got some very, very, very loyal and loving people around me,
Mhm.
employees, customers that we are that we love more than anything, and those guys are
Yeah.
what keep me driving. And
Yeah.
and I sat there the other night because I was enjoying my backyard again, and I'm sitting back there. I'm sitting back there, and I said, you start thinking about all the people that depend on you
Mhm.
Mhm.
to feed
That's
their
right,
families.
yeah.
And that's when reality set in and hit me pretty hard, because it's like, man, there's a good number of people that depend on me
Right. Yeah.
and my business to be able to support and put food on the table for their kids and their loved ones. So
Yeah.
it was an eye opener, but at the end of the day, we've been blessed. We've done really well
Yeah.
as a business, and with the loyalty of my employees, like I said, my employees are amazing. I don't say that to because it's the right thing to say or because it sounds cute. I say it because I truly mean that. Without
Right,
those
yeah.
guys, it's we would not be where we're at.
All right. Yeah. I always say, like, in a business to, because I've worked with just bosses that have been terrible. And so it's kind of like, you're always supposed to take care of your employees because they're the ones that take care of your business. Always make sure that they're taken care of, because if you take care of them, they'll take care of you for sure. Like it's a
And do you
back and
give and
forth thing.
take?
You better
Yeah.
believe it. And do you know that when before this,
Mhm.
there was a before this, but before this, I started an organization back in the day called Turn 2 Baseball. And it was an organization where we traveled the world playing baseball at a high level.
Oh,
But they were from 6-year-olds all the way up to 14-year-olds.
Wow.
Oh.
But you know, as coaching these guys, I coached the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, and the 14-year-olds. And I would coach these guys, but you know, as a coach, taking them around and learning, I used to always say that I want this kid when he gets to be 21, 22, to see me at HEB and to stop his cart and want to come give me a hug and say hi.
Right.
I don't want
exactly,
him to be like, oh, that was that prick.
Right.
You know?
He made me
I
run.
was an asshole coach.
Yes,
Ooh.
and that asshole coach is what we don't want to be. But I say that because I don't want to be that asshole boss either.
Mhm.
Right.
I
yeah.
don't want to see an employee at the store and be like, oh crap, there's that asshole. I hate him. Look, babe, there's that guy that I
Right.
told you I can't
About-
stand. So yes, you're right, and you're only as good as your employees. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I spoil them, and I sometimes hear it at home. You know, oh well, if I were your employees, I'd do it. I'm like, oh, stop it. Stop it.
So you have Ray Salas that says, great guys at R&L Cuts. My son comes back from Iowa just for the cut.
Oh,
Yes, Coach Salas is
Nobody knows how to cut in Iowa.
Coach Salas. Coach Salas is actually a great friend. Actually known him. He coached my son at Holy Cross, and
Oh.
he's been in the coaching world, high school world for years. But great man, still
Mhm.
does business at Bandera with us. So we put
Yeah.
some of the
Oh.
Bandera
Nice.
booster club stuff. So yes,
Yeah.
great man.
Yeah. And we have Mike that says, where's the EVP?
He's at home playing with his dogs. I think. So you want to make the announcements now?
What announcement?
What's coming this week?
Oh, yeah, maybe later.
Okay.
At the ending, at the
in a
ending.
bit. In a bit.
So what
That's a
would you
tease.
yeah. So what would you say to, you know, somebody that wants to start their own business? Like what would be the best advice that you would give them? You know, seeing how you have
Multiple.
You know,
multiple
you know we
successful businesses.
Go
on
to
top
the
of
ones
that.
that they don't want them anymore.
we you know, I get these calls quite a bit.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I get them. And hey, you know, I'm thinking about going on my own. Hey, what do you? And I tell everybody, if do it, and you're never gonna know. And it
Mhm.
goes back to that old saying that, you know, I can stand on the ledge or I can jump. And if I stand there, I'm always gonna wonder what if.
Right.
If I jump, I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna get back up. If I fall and I hit myself and I bump myself along the way, but I tell everybody, you're gonna run into those headaches. You're gonna run into those repos. You're
Right,
gonna run
yeah.
into those foreclosures.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into those having, you know, $20 in your pocket to last you till Friday. It's just, it's a no-brainer. If you're getting in this business or in any business to be a millionaire overnight, get away. Just
Right,
go
yeah.
keep doing what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
and in this thing, you're gonna struggle. And they told me the first 3 years, and boy, did they lie to my ass. But I would tell anybody that has this will to be an entrepreneur, to
Yeah.
do it. Go, you know, of course, get your ducks in a row. Make sure that you have your finances for at least a good while, and you have some sort of fallback. You know, I started this business while I still had a job. Because again, I couldn't put my family at risk.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, at some point I wanted to go all in, and I remember that conversation with my wife like it was
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
And oh boy, I'm telling you, she wasn't real happy to hear me say that
Yeah.
I was leaving my job to do this full time. That was always
That's our goal, to hopefully, you know, because we do have our regular jobs, and this is kind of like a side job for us. And so we're always like, man, just one day to be like, you know what, I don't need my job anymore. Like I could do this and it'll be okay. You know, it's scary. It's scary to think about
you
that.
know, I love waking up. I love going to work.
Mhm.
I truly do. And it's one of those things where I say to everybody, you know, before I was in corporate America, I hated it. I hated it, and I was miserable. I hated going to work. I hated seeing that one person at work. That you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We all have that
there
one
she
person.
comes.
You're
She's
like,
gonna
"Catch
bitch
me
about
outside."
something. Yeah.
Dicko
Yes, she's gonna bitch about something.
She lived today. Great.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I say that I love going to work. I love
Mhm.
what I do. It's a fun environment. I make it fun at our shop. It can't be that serious because,
Yeah.
you know, yes, things are going to happen. You're going to ruin stuff. You're going to mess up stuff. And I'm never happy about it. But at the end of the day, you know, hey, we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
as long as we wake up and we enjoy what we do every day, and
Mhm.
you know, it's gonna be good, and we'll be all right.
That's
Yeah.
great. Great words. So you have Celeste Salas Viesca. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You sure
That
did.
says, "What up, fam?"
What's
We have
up?
Mira Medals with clapping hands.
We
So-
Celeste and them are very good friends of ours.
Nice.
They've been around us for some time.
Yeah.
She plays on our women's team, and her husband plays on our
Oh.
men's team.
Cool.
Dang.
Now,
Speaking of
Athletic.
men's teams, if you guys need like a washed up 24-year-old, 23-year-old,
Water boy.
yeah, if you guys need that for the softball team, I can help you out there.
Hey, we can always
I
use
know.
always
Me
use
too.
a bad
I'm
boy.
a 26, haven't done shit year old.
Hey, there you go.
You get in there.
You know, I honestly said the other day that I wanted to put a rec team together
Oh.
just to go have fun, laugh, make fun of people, hit the ball, and see what
Do
the
y'all
heck
do
happens.
kickball by chance?
Oh, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I was gonna say
Kickball's
I
fun.
would do kickball,
I was
like
gonna
for
say-
sure.
I would love to see
obviously with COVID times, this isn't a great time. But I was thinking about maybe doing that game with you, Jose. Maybe doing like a pub sports team versus somebody else, charity like
Yeah.
kickball game.
We dominate them.
You would-
Like
you
all,
would-
all,
We
all the
don't-
radio shows versus some other Joe Schlo
Show.
group
Yeah.
somewhere.
you'd
The
be-
R&L crew. I'll put it down right now.
Oh, man, that's
Ooh,
a challenge.
Yeah, look at
Let's
that.
send the offer.
That's a
I'll,
challenge.
Whoa.
I'll talk big for all the other shows.
Yay.
But you know, with you saying that, there's a lot of activities going on still during
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
time.
I would still want to stay active while I'm still young, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better believe it.
Of course.
So we have a Pedro Cantu that says, "That's so cool, Pops." We have
Yes,
Cynthia that
Pedro.
says, "Such an inspiration." And Celeste saying, "A good guy to work for."
Nice.
And she says, "Viesca, party of two for Rec and Christina."
They've been trying to get my wife out there to do softball, and my wife is like,
No.
"Get that out of your head." I'm gonna get her out there one day just to play. But you know, one of my employees, he wanted to go out one day, and he said, "Man, I'm gonna go play with y'all, Pops. I'm gonna go play with y'all." He's got to be in his late 50s, late 50s. And he said, I'm going out there. And poor thing, man. he hit that damn ball. He took about 3 steps and he
He's
went
like,
face
"Ooh."
first into that sand. And I'm like,
Oh.
and needless to say, I was without an employee for about 3 or 4
Oh.
days. I'm like, so
I'm a bad pitcher. Okay, I always tried pitching a softball. It's too damn big. I like pitch and the ball goes like that way or that way,
Well,
and it's
I mean,
just terrible.
But are you talking about like softball pitching?
Right,
Or,
softball pitching.
well, there's like
like the,
the girls
underhand. Yeah.
softball pitching, and then there's just the regular. You just lob it pitching
Yeah.
that softball
Oh
does
no,
now.
I did the whole like
the fast
The
pitch.
Yes.
wind up.
Fast pitch.
It was terrible.
Yeah, no.
I can't.
Rec softball, you just
Oh,
lob
okay,
it
I
and-
could do that. Yeah,
you just lob it, and then everybody runs for the ball.
Yeah.
I could do that. Now, what
Um,
if I want to be professional and do the
No,
whole?
I think that's against the rules, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Oh,
against the
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What about flag football?
rules. You know, that wouldn't
For
be
girls.
a bad idea. I
I'm
don't
all for
know.
girls.
Some of these
Let's
things
go
sound
with-
like too much running to me.
How about
Not bad.
moped tag?
I mean, that sounds good to me too.
Well, if those scooters were still in town, we could just get one of those scooters and play
There you
scooter
go.
tag.
So, how can
Right.
people get a hold of you, social media wise?
Social media, we're on Facebook, and right now Facebook is probably our biggest source of marketing,
Okay.
and we have everything. If you go to Texas Silk Screen and Embroidery on Facebook, you'll see everything we do. And again, please don't, this isn't, I always say it's not arrogant, it's just very confident. But I will say that we are the best embroidery shop in silk screen embroidery shop in Texas, and that's hands down. Our embroidery speaks for itself.
Mhm.
We entered a contest about 7 years ago, nationwide,
Mhm.
and we were the first company to be able to do halftones with thread. I don't know if you know what that is, but
Oh,
halftones
no.
are ink. With ink, you can do it, of course, because you fade out and you go from like a DR Horton.
Yeah.
I mean DR Woodfire. You put the flames would go as they transition up.
Yeah.
And we did it and really took first in a national competition, which was
Wow.
huge. We came out into some
Wow.
newspapers, magazines, and that was a huge lift for us because we
Yeah.
got some national exposure. But we also, like I said, we get some of the tougher jobs
Mhm.
within the state of Texas that, hey, you know, Joe Blow owns an embroidery shop. I've got this one job. I
Can't
need it
do.
done. I can't do it. It's just a little too much for us. And they'll send
Right.
it to us.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
wow.
We actually just did our we did another job for West Coast Customs.
Oh,
Wow.
So
West Coast.
we had done a job probably about maybe about 6-7 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and we just did another one here recently for them.
That's
And it was
That's really cool.
that was a cool deal. It really was.
Yeah.
And then you go and you see it online and you see it on TV and
Yeah.
you see them actually sporting our stuff. It was pretty neat.
Wow, that is so cool.
That's some coverage right there.
You heard
Yes,
it
it
there,
is.
folks. The
Yes.
best.
The best.
We got the best here.
You better believe it.
And of course, you want to go over some of the products here, just so
Oh,
those
yeah.
watching
Yes.
live can see.
Yeah, they can
the
see it right
quality.
there.
Yes, we
Model Dom.
Oh yeah.
model.
Hand model.
Hand model.
So we'll go ahead and start with the.
Those
Yeah,
are
the
the
medals.
medals, the
Oh.
Fiesta medals.
Oh, you do medals
yes, we
too?
do. Yes, we do.
Ooh, cool.
So we do Fiesta medals, which this year we
That's
didn't do very
awesome.
many.
Oh yeah, I
We
know.
did some, but they were the ones that
Mhm.
tried to
Putting them
jump
marker.
early,
Yeah, yeah.
and they started printing in
Oh, don't
December.
worry.
and
Y'all are probably gonna
January,
get
so-
hit like
Oh,
later on
I
this
know
year.
it is. I know it is.
And
And
then
those
the-
are our silkscreen T-shirts.
Oh.
So those are our silkscreen T-shirts. They're of course
Nice.
going to get left behind, so you guys can
Yes.
sport them.
Yes.
Yay!
All
yay.
late.
You got the number.
I wasn't
you got
here.
The address, everything.
It's all in there.
Donna missed
I
the,
missed
the
that
conversation
conversation.
earlier. We're bringing in the.
And then we got the silk shirt right
That's
here.
that's our sublimation shirt. And it's funny, a lot of people don't know what all's
Ooh.
involved with that shirt. So
Uh-huh.
that shirt is printed
Stay
on
loyal
a
or
roll
stay
of
away?
on a roll of material.
Uh-huh.
So it's a flat piece of rolled material that we print on.
Wow.
And then we go and we cut around the material. We sew
Uh-huh.
the sleeves, we sew the collar, we sew the side seams.
Yeah.
We sew it all together. So it's actually created at our location from scratch.
Wow.
You want to try it? It feels great.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then of course, like we mentioned earlier, they have koozies
That's
as well.
cool.
Yes,
Oh,
koozies
yeah,
that
and
we.
these hats right here.
Yep.
Yes. It's nice.
So a
Ceramic
couple of
colored
them.
koozies.
These have our 3D embroidery. 3D embroidery is something that we specialize in. There's not a lot of good 3D embroidery people out there.
Ooh, that's cool. I actually love the logo because I'm obsessed with lions. So the
Mhm.
logo in general,
Yeah.
when I saw it, I was like, "That's." A
And
dope
everybody
logo.
asks me, what is XD?
Oh yeah.
So
Let me see. Oh yeah.
when I started this, it was
That's
based
cool.
off of a softball team, and of course,
Yeah.
how many softball players are on that field at the same time as
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
True.
So it's 10 deep.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Which is the
okay.
XD.
Nice.
That makes sense.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
That makes a lot of
Wow.
sense.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So you guys need to come check them out. These are all like quality products.
Quality.
And you get it here. I mean, it's the best.
The
And this one's
The
the neck one, right?
That's the gator
The
mask.
gator- yeah.
The
Nice.
gator mask, and we've
Ooh.
Which of course, if you're bearded, those are the best ones to wear.
yes.
That way we don't look at you weird because your mask goes here.
For real, I hate
It's
that. It looks
true.
like a fluffy cat.
I got one made of or I bought one online that's Joe Exotic.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like his face down and it has the earrings and it has
The
the tattoo and
nose.
everything. And everywhere I go, everybody just laughs when I have it on.
It's true.
So it's one of my favorite ones to wear. Just 'cause
Yeah.
I know everybody's watching. Of course, speaking about beards, Texas Bearded Cartel is also our last sponsor, so I get all the plugs in.
Yay.
And he will be doing a pop-up shop on the 29th and 1022 South St. Mary's,
Mhm.
which I think is right around the corner here.
Yeah.
On the 29th at 5 o'clock, he'll be selling his gear, so you can get his caps, like the blue one there and the one Dom's wearing.
Right here.
Right here.
And I paid all the
Chingon
bills.
way.
Get your chingon hats.
Chingon hats.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I finally paid all the bills for once in
There
the
you
correct
go.
order, so
There you
that's great.
go. Woo.
Of course, we're actually still got some time.
Oh, great.
We got like 10 minutes.
The hot seat.
Yay.
So, I guess more as like a business owner, I guess, and having to do with COVID, I guess is a good topic to bring up. So, TBC has now made a vice task force to crack down on a lot of these bars.
Like the Wells.
Two notable ones is the Wells and Hoffman's. Right here on Rigsby just got busted Thursday. The owner got
Mhm.
arrested for their photos because on Thursdays he turns the back into a bar/restaurant. So he has
Oh,
everybody coming
wow.
in. So TBC cracked down because I don't think he was actually enforcing the buying food with your alcohol. He had food, but they weren't enforcing it. So, I mean, just in having to adapt in general, how has that like been an obstacle with this COVID going on?
You know, and it's so darn hard. People don't understand that the last thing that we want as business owners is to see our business just go to crap in such a short time, and basically
Right,
off
yeah.
of something that we had no control of.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
got to understand that we build these businesses and we spend our life. I've spent the last 20 years building this business that's literally torn down within 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel, yes, we've got rules, we've got guidelines to go by, but I kind of feel for these people. They're, you got a Hoffman's, you got a Wells that, they were making big bucks. They were trying to, and people always say, well, they've got money. No, time out. Just because they own a business doesn't mean they have money.
Yes.
That means with a lot of money means they have a lot of bills.
Yeah.
So it's a tough time. COVID's been a tough time. I can't even imagine if they would still have us shut down because they shut us down for a little while.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't imagine for somebody to still have us shut down and still, because unfortunately, I don't care what anybody says. All your bills and all these people that, they'll work with you. That's all BS.
It is. Yeah.
Joe Blow's going to want his rent. So-and-so's going to want their bills paid. CPS, yes, they're going to work with you, but what are they going to do? They're going to tell you 6 months from now you owe us $3,000.
Right. Exactly.
So, and who's going to give them that? So, it's been, the pandemic has been probably one of the toughest things I've battled as a business owner. I can't even imagine some of these guys that have put, hundreds of thousands of dollars into their business, and for whatever reason now are at the point where we're on the verge of shutting down for good.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of good friends. I mean, a good friend of mine at Slacker Sports Bar, he's struggling. I mean, and it's not, he runs a damn good business, and it's tough because, you're at that point where you're fighting that happy medium.
Yes.
And now they put this guideline in where as long as you sell food, you can sell. So yes, there's that fine line, and I know TABC is doing their job too, but at the same time, they've got to understand that these people, they've got to eat, and it's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Like one of the memes that I saw that was funny, where they're like, "Oh, 50% of your revenue comes from 51% of your revenue comes from food. You're safe for COVID. So now 49% of it comes from food. Oh no, now you're gonna give people COVID. Like you can't be open.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I mean, it doesn't logically make sense. I mean, I get it, I guess, because being drunk and drinking and not wearing a mask to drink, I get it, but at the end of the day, I can still go home and get drunk and not wear a mask and walk down the street and still give somebody COVID. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
At this point, you're kind of just everywhere. Same with like even restaurants in general. You can sit down and take off the mask, but yet last week we went to a Mexican restaurant. There's a lady like 3 tables over just coughing with no mask on, nothing, and just like not even covering her mouth. She's just coughing. And it's like, okay, so I have a better chance of catching COVID at a bar than catching COVID being 3 feet next to this lady.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. And I guess if I wasn't a business owner, because I mean, I do see myself as a business owner. I do own a business. I mean, I don't know if my mentality would be the same way, because I know some of them are upset that, restaurants are open and all that stuff, that businesses are open pretty much for dine-in, and they're like, oh, well, all y'all want is money, and all y'all care about is money, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not the case. It's the fact that this is their bread and butter. And because if this isn't open, they're not going to survive. And so it's more of like, I definitely understand why businesses want to open, because if not, they're going to go under their business, their family, their employees. Like you said, you're reliant on everybody and putting food on people's table as well, and not just yourself. So it's tough, and I understand why restaurants want to open and all this stuff. And like you said, the government tries, but it's not working as far as helping.
When I started my business, I took every dime I had in my 401k, and my wife was literally ready to kill me. But I took every dime I had, and I put it out, and I gambled on it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that people don't understand that there's people that have taken they're gambling on their whole life savings. There's nothing left to fall back on. So yes, when they want to stay open and they want to try to keep that money generating, it's not because they want to get richer.
Right.
It's because they have nothing to fall back on. They've gambled it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I know, like, I used to work at Best Buy, so I'm still like in a Best Buy like meme like employee page thing, and in there they were talking about how like with having to shut down where they couldn't even do like curbside or anything, they were down to like 1 or 2 employees like in each department. So they're like, now that we're starting to reopen up, half the people that left had to go get other jobs because they were loaded. So now they have other jobs, but they're not coming back. So now I got to train like 10 people how to do my department and expect them to be 100% on my level when we reopen in like 3 days because they were going to reopen at that time. So great. So like now what does that do us? But we couldn't afford to keep them because we couldn't keep people open because of the rules of COVID. It's just like, it's one of those
fine line.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
like one of the cooks here. He's actually part of a band that we were at Sunday, and he used to be the cook here. And he's like, I was gonna come back, but I already have found another job, so like I'm not gonna just leave my other job that pays more now to come over here. So
yeah.
So it is what it is. It's just shifting everybody.
Tough for everybody.
It's crazy.
They need to make some really comfortable masks so they won't have to, take them off and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a little connection, put the beer on.
And I've always said this, and I mean, I don't want it to sound ugly, but we're all gonna have to get it.
Oh,
I mean, it's gonna ultimately gonna
Yeah.
come down to everybody's gonna have to get it.
yeah.
Either
I mean,
we
and
reopen
hopefully it doesn't take any people. It doesn't, but it's an unfortunate fact.
Yeah.
This whole school thing. I mean, there's
I know.
The kids are.
that's a whole animal in itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just
Do you
like
have kids
I
that are-
do.
you
I've
do?
got my son actually is going for his master's at St. Mary's.
Oh,
My
great.
daughter
Nice.
is at Incarnate Word College. And I've got a little one that started she's at Holy Cross High School.
Uh-huh.
So we've been around Holy Cross for years. So
Yeah.
I graduated in 94. My son graduated in 15. My daughter graduated in 19.
Mhm.
And my little one is is an 8th grader now there.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a tough one. And it is. It's tough because
say.
that whole school issue, and I think I had the best idea. I said, why not freeze everything? Freeze everything and let everybody go on a year summer break or whatever it is until we get a vaccine for this thing. You don't put anybody at risk. You don't lose anything. Yes, what's the worst thing that happens? You don't graduate in 21. Now you got to change your jacket patch to 22. I mean,
Right.
But if that's the worst thing that we're up against,
It's a safety.
I mean,
safety.
because you're putting teachers, kids.
Yeah,
I mean, and
for
heaven
sure.
forbid, I don't want your kid to be that one kid that passes from this, and now we're going to go shut things down.
Right.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
not wait till that happens. Yeah.
Well, it's just like a Bernie ISD. They started school like last week, I think.
Last week.
And they already said that they've already had so many cases
Yep.
and they had to shut down already. And it's like,
and then
well, then
even
what was the point?
and then even like that, even when you do come with the vaccine, look at the flu shot. There's people who still die because of the flu
Yeah,
shot
that's
because their
true.
body just doesn't
You better
Um,
believe it.
build a tolerance to it. So it's like,
Yeah.
yes, the vaccine helps when it comes, but like you said, everyone's eventually gonna have to get it because even the vaccine's gonna have it in it.
You better
Yeah.
believe it.
So you're just directly injecting the COVID to you. So you wasted the 2 years trying not to get it, and then you take the shot and you be the first one to go.
Yeah.
That's
What would
crazy.
you what would
crazy.
you guys tell parents, or what would you guys do if this was the scenario? If you say single parent house and their kid not going to work or not going to school and you have to go to work?
And that's a fine line. It really is tough because yes, parents but you'd be surprised. I think right now a good 80 to 90% of them are working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard to juggle a screaming kid and computer in the living room, but I just always say that fine line I'll deal with all day because there's a flip side to this, and that flip side to this is my loved one passing away.
Mhm.
And
Right.
if I've got to juggle figuring out how I got to get her daycare or how to figure out how to get her taken care of, I'm going to juggle that, and I'll take that tenfold over having to go and make funeral plans for. And it's a harsh reality. I had a friend of mine that,
Mhm.
this COVID is BS. Oh, it's, it's this is the
Mhm.
government. This is the government. And bless his heart, Raymond's a good friend of mine. His loved one, his daughter, his sister ended up dying from it.
Oh my gosh.
And his whole, I had a conversation with him about a week ago, and his whole demeanor's changed.
Yeah.
It's not BS anymore. It's, he understands that he was kind of crazy about talking the way he was, but I don't want to be that one flip side of the pillow. So it's a hard
It is
line.
hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I feel like with, kids having to be home to go to schooling, I mean, in that case, if it's like a 2-parent household, it should be like the parent that's at home or maybe not working at the time or doing part-time should be getting like some kind of, payment, like from local governments or the government, main government. I mean, something like that. That would give initiative and give people to want to be home to teach your kids. I mean, a lot of people are willing to do it now without the pay, but I'm just saying it would make people want to do it, even though they love their kids, but a lot of them are single parents or don't have the other parent to do that.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah. This depends. Every household is different. I mean, everybody's different. So.
Yes. And that wraps up the show.
We
hit the hour mark.
So serious.
I know. He's so serious.
But yes, real quick, one last time, social media links for everybody watching.
Yes, we're on Facebook, Texas Silk Screen and Embroidery, and we are also on Facebook with the barbershop. It's RNL Cuts with a K.
Oh, okay.
And RNL Sports is on social media too.
Oh,
so
nice.
That
All
too.
three. Just look them up, like them.
Yeah,
You
go
better
get a haircut
engaged.
this week. You
Yeah.
might see
There
me.
you go.
You're gonna
Get a
see me
haircut.
this week some point.
Go see our team over there. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And of course, tune in later tonight for our live where we'll break the announcement that we don't have time for now. And because I totally forgot about it, and me tasting some gummies and some popcorn. So
Nice.
that'll be a good live to watch on our
I think I'll
Facebook
be
page.
back.
So tune in there on our Facebook page. So next week, Dom's gonna be running the show.
Yay.
Dom show.
Dom.
Me and Donna are gonna go on vacation, so we're gonna take that Sunday off. So Dom has his team of people coming in to replace us.
Team of people.
Oh, yes.
God damn.
So definitely
We
tune
get a
in.
clown, guys.
So
I can't wait.
tune into that. Jose will still be here with him. So
Will I though? Am I going to
Will-
be the replacement too?
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean,
Voice of God is
I don't
the
know. I
replacement.
mean, if you want to put an intern and take the day off too, go ahead.
I might. Shout out to Victor.
Shout out to Victor. Of course, thank you for taking time out to be out here with
Yeah,
us
thank
today.
you.
Thank you
so
guys
much,
for
yeah.
having me. Thank you.
Yes. So
Can't do
again,
that
for all your screening shirt needs and hats and all that good
You saw
stuff,
all
reach out
that.
to them.
You better believe it.
Even your masks as well. So get
Yes.
yourself
So
some masks.
cool.
And for that being said, I'm G
I'm Dom.
And Donna.
and 210 Culture,
Bringing the best of 210
Nation.
Nation.